Hello, everybody. Welcome into episode 15 of Charts and Checks. We're doing another live edition today because me and Alvaro, your hosts, are going to be busy to end the weekend. There's a lot of exciting news to talk about. Speaking of Alvaro, we're going to be talking about Oracle. We'll probably end up talking about AMD, maybe a couple other names in the cohort, and then we'll go to the chat and see what other stocks you want to look at. With the market 20 minutes closed, any comments?
What's up, folks? It's a live edition of Shorts and Checks. And there you go. Just let me make sure. Yeah, everything is good. Yeah, with
Yep.
the stream. Awesome. So, welcome, folks. Please drop a comment down below and let us know what stocks you want us to go over. What's up, bro? How are you?
Yeah.
Good.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
A long time no see. So, we got the article news today. And it was like some sort of a weird article that was coming from the information. So
Yes.
take it for what it's worth. And Oracle took a big hit. It went down like $20. The dip, of course, ended up being bought up. And this news affected the market as a whole, of course, as expected. It was suggesting that some way, somehow, the demand for artificial intelligence is kind of softening. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I would say that the information in the past has not provided the best information. I think they also had hit on Nvidia maybe last year or sometimes month in the past. It came and it went. I think what they're alleging is that in the current quarter we're in, there are $100 million worth of orders that got pulled. I don't know where they would have got that information. I think they're citing an internal memo, but in my opinion, it's highly speculative. And this is where you got to start thinking about it in your head. Who benefits by this kind of news outflow? Why would this come out? Why would it come out now? I think it's a little bit suspect.
I can tell you.
Out.
I can tell you who benefited from this.
Go ahead.
Whoever got Oracle puts at 5 minutes before the news came out.
Right. Of course.
So.
I think it's suspect that this report is coming out. I think 2 days or a week before their investor conference, where they're going to provide us an update on the fiscal quarter if anything has changed.
That is taking place next Thursday, right?
It's either next Thursday or this Thursday. I think it's next Thursday.
No,
though.
it's the Thursday after that. Yeah, next week. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, perfect.
So Oracle is going to be a big mover next week. While the conference takes place. So put that down on a sticky note, guys. So we have an Oracle conference taking place, not this Thursday, but the Thursday after that. And I mean, Oracle is going to be moving the whole AI-related, space. Let's just put it that way. So the Nvidias of the world and the AMDs of the world and so forth.
Right. And I think the only other thing I would mention is that I think the only way this really moves the stock is if they come out and say something about their earnings that would be, either negative or positive. Right now, I think because of the pressure, or not the pressure, but the insinuation.
Dan, what's the likelihood? I mean, if they said a month ago that demand is absolutely out of control. So
exactly. Like, I don't think they're going to say anything negative, but I don't know if they're actually allowed to say anything positive without releasing an 8K. Like if they're going to say something new that can move the stock that is material, it needs to be done via an 8K. The CrowdStrike did it when they had their investor conference that set the stock back towards 500, where they reiterated their guidance. They didn't need an 8K for that because they were just reiterating. But so in other words, we could see a totally normal Oracle conference and see a move back to 300. In fact, here's the chart right now. Let me see if I can just pull this up. Yeah, here we go. Window here.
Okay.
See the chart here?
Yeah, sure. Perfectly well.
So it came very, very close to touching its 50-day simple moving average at $264 and about 50 cents. And didn't really get there.
Yeah,
and
today's low was $271.
Yes, exactly. It hit there in the middle of the day, right as the news broke, and it looks like there were some buyers waiting at 271 because it stayed there for all of 2 minutes.
Yeah, the dip got up right away. And the same thing goes for the other AI-related stocks. So they bucked the dip on AVGO, they bucked the dip on Palantir, they bucked the dip on AMD as well. So there was some, buy the dip opportunities out there today from an intraday perspective, of course, right? Also, I think that also the Nvidia's dip got bought up. So the markets. So what catches my eye is that the markets took this off before the company even called this a bluff. So that's interesting. There's still a very strong underlying demand for all of these stocks.
Again, I think the market understands that the information isn't maybe the gold standard of journalism.
Correct. Correct.
And just before we move on from Oracle, it sounds like we're going to start looking at other stocks. I wanted to show everybody these levels worth watching. This is a Fibonacci retracement, and the line is a little bit askewed because I wanted it to be easier to see. Basically, Fibonacci retracement, you look at the start of the move, you look at the end of the move, and you start looking at where a stock could find support. The levels are based on the Fibonacci sequence, not going to get into it, but the idea is that these numbers are commonly occurring in nature, in humanity, and because humans run the stock market, it happens in the stock market. We see here that anything below a 61.8% retracement, if you violate that level like convincingly, then you have to start being worried about the stock completely closing the gap back to 260 or 240. But, if you look at it here, it stayed there for
240 is a very important level because at $240, Oracle was trading at $240 before the last earnings report came out. So if Oracle happens to go down to $240, it would be completely erasing the gains out of the most recent earnings report, which was a blockbuster report, some sort of an Nvidia moment.
Yes.
For Oracle. So
this blue dot is where the quarter, hit.
All right.
And then it went all the way up there. It came close to violating that 61.8% margin. The point I'm making here, just, most simply, is that if you get some closes below 280 on a consistent basis, then you have to start being worried about a technical revisit of probably, let's call it 260, looks like the prior all-time high. And I think you'd probably see it at 260. You want to see resistance become support. And I think the quarter, even though you could poke some holes in it by saying that much of this demand was given to it by the other hyperscalers, money is money. Earnings are earnings. And unless you think that the hyperscalers are going to develop this infrastructure overnight, it's not going to go away from Oracle. So if you see this at 260, I suspect there is a large wall of demand waiting to pick up shares there.
Especially, I would say at $240 because
100%. But again,
the stock would be erasing all of the gains out of.
You'd have to run through 260.
Last earnings report, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel though if you are a long-term investor, this isn't necessarily trading, but if you're a long-term investor and you see Oracle at 260, you don't have any, and you want some, that's an excellent place to start a little position. And if you end up missing $20 or what ends up being 10% or less than 10%. On a $250 stock, then hey, you missed the absolute bottom. But this is one that if you feel like you missed, the market could give you an opportunity to get back in.
Unless you're very bearish on artificial intelligence. If you are very bearish on artificial intelligence, then don't buy the dip because I don't know, the demand is going down or whatever it is, or the information is telling the truth, or who knows. But if you are bullish on artificial intelligence, I think that you should be buying the dip. Potentially at 260, needless to say, $240. Correct.
Agreed. But you do have to be careful. Like, again, you're speaking from a trading perspective, I think, which is fair. I am starting to get concerned. And I look at my portfolio, all the portfolios I run every single week. And I look at the percentages that are in different sectors, in different industries, cybersecurity, AI. I try to bundle them to make sure that I'm not getting too over allocated in any direction. When you start getting to the point where the earnings story of the entire market could rely pretty heavily on a return on investment in AI, you got to be careful that all of your eggs aren't in that basket.
Sure. 100%.
Now, don't get me wrong. You do want to concentrate a little bit in the winners, but even if we're in the first inning, even if we're still early, I can guarantee you that there will be nasty 10 to 20% corrections in these stocks because of the volatility associated with them on our way to the ninth inning. So even if you're early,
because of the high multiples, of course, these stocks can correct very quickly and in a very aggressive fashion. So that is something that every single investor in these kind of stocks has to be aware of course. No doubt about it. Sure. Hey, so among other stocks that took a hit today, on the Oracle's news was Palantir. Any thoughts on Palantir there?
Here, you give your thoughts quickly. I'll pull up the chart and we'll go from there. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it closed. It actually went up to the 1.47%, and in the case of Palantir, they also bugged the dip. Oh yeah, they bugged the dip. They did, bro. I mean, so Palantir went down from $185 down to $180 in a very aggressive fashion, and near noon they bugged the dip. So Palantir went from $180 up to $185. It pretty much erased all of the drop after the Oracle's news came out, but it ended up pulling back a bit, close at $182 today. So,
yeah, no, I was just pulling up the daily chart to give them a little insight into what you're saying. It like you said, around 11 o'clock when the news broke about Oracle, you see it go all the way down, find support, closes somewhere in the middle. If we take a look at, this is a 6-month chart, but this has the 5-day exponential, 13 exponential, and the 21 simple moving averages. You'll see that it closed above all of them today, cleanly. So the uptrend remains intact. The all-time high is exactly 190 to the penny, according to what I have here on the intraday level. You get above there, you've got plenty of room to keep going. I don't really know the valuations on this one as well as you probably do, but valuation really doesn't matter.
It's still very high, but it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
The story is still sexy, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, until CARP makes an actual misstep, or the company makes an actual misstep, or somehow underperforms on their mission, which doesn't appear to be the case, valuation doesn't matter for this one. So I totally agree with you.
I am curious.
But like you said, got bought.
I am actually curious about the upcoming earnings report of Palantir. Let me pull that up here quickly.
Sure. So, just one more thing worth mentioning.
Excuse me. Yeah,
it was 2 days ago. This stock almost touched its 50-day simple moving average, which is around $169. As far as the intermediate term momentum indicators that I follow go with the MACD, slightly negative, but I think it's probably going to turn up positive again. It's not a big deal. And RSI is right below 60. So momentum is still here. You can feel comfortable about this one. Dips are getting bought.
Yeah, Palantir reports on November 10th. So we are like pretty much 1 month. So the report is happening 1 month out for the most part. And yeah, that is going to be an interesting report for sure, because the company needs to keep executing perfectly well. Otherwise, yeah, those multiples don't allow any miss. It's impossible. They need to deliver perfection. That's all that Palantir is allowed to deliver. Simply perfection. So we'll see what happens. The earnings report, is on November 10th. We'll get to AMD shortly. Okay, so do you want to go over?
That was me.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, they are asking about AMD. I was telling the guys in Chris Saint's Discord about AMD today. Let me pull up that technical chart. So let me go to.
Go ahead, dude. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So AMD guys, we got very good news yesterday. According to the price action, I am not going to be judging here if the news is actually very good or positive or negative or whatever it is. Take a look at the price action. So AMD was able to pull off another green, another positive day today, up 3.83% and closing the trading session at $211. I was telling you guys about $214 as a potential level to observe today, and I said earlier on today that if AMD, sorry guys, I am having issues with my throat, so please,
all right, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so take a look, $214. This is the level that I was calling out as a potential level of support, of which AMD could be headed higher. So $214 couldn't be held as support as soon as the trading session opened. AMD also went down today once the Oracle news broke out. And $214 wasn't recovered throughout the trading session. So this is the most important level that I am keeping an eye on. $214, above $214. I think that we have potentially another all-time highs test coming up for AMD. And if the stock keeps going down, I am keeping an eye on this level, guys. $190. Let me show you here a 3-year chart. Take a look. So $190 is a previous level of resistance that acted as such back in July of last year. It is a very clear previous level of overhead resistance that now could be potentially acting as support. So I think that taking into account the good news that we got yesterday on AMD with this partnership with OpenAI, I think that this dip gets bought up in case of a further drop. $190, I might be a buyer of AMD down there, and a potential process of consolidation above. Let me pull up here a 5-day, 5-minute. Yeah, a potential process of consolidation above $315, $314. I think that could set the table for the bulls to be able to gather momentum, and why not make a test of the brand-new all-time highs near $326. So my levels $214. And if, I don't know, we see a bit more of downwards pressure because AMD closed today's trading session way off the highs, we can make a case, $218, and it closed at $211. I think that buyers could be defending price at around $190. So the short looks good. AMD's trading as of now, let me see, 28% above its 20-day moving average. So this push to the upside is a bit extended. So I think that maybe $190 could be an interesting spot. But again, if momentum remains positive and if AMD can consolidate above $214, I think that the risk could still be to the upside. Any thoughts on AMD and the OpenAI partnership news that we got yesterday?
I'm frequent of saying that the market isn't stupid. So I believe that this is a very real thing for AMD. I don't really have any issue with it. To me, it actually makes sense and furthers the narrative that Nvidia can't keep up with demand, and OpenAI through this deal is ensuring that they're going to have multiple sources of GPUs. How they're going to reconcile the differences between the software stack from Nvidia and the software stack from AMD, I'm not sure, but the market doesn't seem to care. This stock added $100 billion in market cap overnight.
Crazy.
In my opinion, that's honestly, it's not even a bear case. It's the only thing that if you're buying after the news, you have to be aware of. I don't know how many stocks, and I don't really know how I would run the data to figure it out. I don't know how many stocks can pump 100 billion. In AMD's case, I think that was 28 to 30% gain. At one point, it was 40%. I don't know how much future performance you pulled forward, but you've definitely pulled forward some of it. However, I totally agree with your analysis of the technicals. I shared this with our Discord yesterday, or with your Discord yesterday in my live feed. If you look at Fibonacci levels, $191.37 is the 61.8% retracement. It is the level of last resort from a Fibonacci perspective. And I actually think it's funny to say it's not a coincidence because it technically is, but it isn't a coincidence that matches up really well with the level you pointed out, which was 190. I'll just quickly get that in green here. And this is a 2-year weekly chart, by the way, where the stock has seen support and resistance.
That's the level that I was talking about, that green line, $190, right?
Yeah, and it marries up perfectly, or almost perfectly, within $1 of the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level. So if you're looking to get in on this stock, I think you can stay long so long as you can get closes above 190, and I mean that gives you a lot of room to breathe.
Did you take a look at the deal itself that they agreed upon? So
I don't really.
AMD,
go ahead.
AMD issued warrants that expire in 5 years, and OpenAI could be executing those warrants, acquiring a 10% stake in the company. That's what is going to happen in 5 years if certain milestones are met. So, I mean, I think that this validates the, let's say, narrative that AMD is going to be a player in the AI industry. So we have a comment here from our friend FG. He says AMD is not anywhere near Nvidia's GPU capacity. Yeah, but you're saying then that the markets are reading this news like, okay, so you have like full access to Nvidia chips, but that's not enough. You need another supplier. So wow.
Yes,
So
and
everybody wins according to what the markets are perceiving about the news. So
I'm not.
this is nothing bearish on Nvidia.
No.
It's like positive for both because it validates the narrative that the demand is absolutely out of control, but it also validates AMD as a second supplier for OpenAI.
I have no notes. That's a very good summation. I think it ultimately, like with respect to the warrants, I don't think there's a scenario based on the size. You said it's a 10%. It would
Yeah,
be a 10%.
they are going to be acquiring 1.6 million shares. Acquiring, exercising the right, to
Right.
buy
In the future.
probably
In
at
the
a penny,
future.
5 years. Those warrants
Right.
expire 5 years out. So they're going to be exercising the right to acquire 1.6 million shares of AMD. The current outstanding shares are 1.6 billion, so 10%. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
No, that's an excellent way of looking at it. And in my opinion, I don't think there's any way that this won't be dilutive to like EPS, but because it takes place so far in the future and you're locking in so much in revenue that you didn't have before, if I were Lisa Sue, if I could only be so lucky to have her intelligence, that's a damn good deal. That's a damn good deal because there's a very large opportunity that 5-10 years down the line, even if this was technically dilutive to your share count, that your share price is going to be a lot higher because what this does to your growth rate.
AMD is being added to the OpenAI combo, which is very positive for AMD. But
Right.
the thing here is like, it's not like AMD is going to be a valid competitor relative to Nvidia. It's like the demand is simply too high. We need another supplier, and that's it. And AMD is going to be providing to us the chips that Nvidia cannot physically sell us because the demand is extremely high. So I mean that's a way that according to the price action, guys, take a look at this technical chart. So take a look at this, guys. This is a 4-hour chart. Let me see if I can actually share the chart again. Guys, it's all about the price action. So what is going on here? This stock went up yesterday. How much did you say, Dan? 30%, 25%?
It peaked at 40%. I think it closed 28%.
Go figure. And the stock today was able to pull off another positive day, up 3.83%. So profit taking was like very low here. So the net aggregate opinion of the markets is saying that AMD is going to be a reliable provider for OpenAI. And if you take a look at a 4-hour chart of Nvidia, again, guys, the price action, take a look at a 4-hour chart of Nvidia. Was this bad news for Nvidia? Of course not. Nvidia is how of the highs. Nvidia is 2.8% of the highs. So it was like so far so good for both companies, Nvidia and AMD. I am not saying that. The technical charts, the price action is telling us that. Go ahead, Dan.
Oh no, I think you've nailed it. The only thing I wanted to just put this into context is, and you talked about this morning. I didn't realize it, so happy that we get to talk a little about it now.
Hey, by the way, hey guys. So my good friend Dan Fayani, best known as the Gorilla with Glasses, just started a YouTube channel. So go ahead and subscribe. In the description box of the video, please raise your hand if you subscribed to his YouTube channel. Come on, go ahead.
Yep.
The link is in the description box. Go ahead. A brand new YouTube channel in which you're going to find a lot of value. So go ahead and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Go ahead. Right away. Go ahead, bro.
Yes. And also, I got to thank you, Alvaro. I wouldn't have had I don't know what the right word is. I wouldn't have had the courage or the motivation to do it without someone like you to help not only guide me, but give me the advice and give me the knowledge and confidence that I really needed to do this.
No,
so,
bro, it's my pleasure. You're a very talented guy, and this is going to be a great YouTube channel. I am 100% sure of that. So keep it up. Go ahead. Subscribe to Gorilla's YouTube channel. Come on. Subscribe.
Thank you. What you're going to find there is the 925 that I do every single week. You're going to find highlights from our podcast, Charts and Checks. Any time that me and Alvaro go on a rant that could maybe be its own 3 to 5 minute clip, you'll find it there. You'll also find all of my technical work when I do like talking about AEM, the gold trade, still up 20% in that, still holding that. Reddit, more than a double. IonQ, you'll know what I've been doing. You'll know what I would have been doing there. So the stuff that I'm doing that I could put together in concise 3 to 5 minute clips, you're going to find it there. And of course, on my blog, you'll find everything reposted as well. You can go to GorillaWglasses.com and subscribe there to my website. It's fantastic. So
there you go.
Thank you very much, Albert.
And I need to thank you for all of your cooperation with our Discord community. So thank you very much, bro.
It's a great community.
There you go.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. Hey, are you in any GRRR place? Are you happen to be familiar with that stock?
I'm not sure what GRR is.
Is that even a stock? I don't know. Let's just do some
Gorilla Technology Group. No, but they should talk to me. That Gorilla Technology Group.
Is that a Gorilla Technology Group? I didn't know that. Is that wow. Take a look. Gorilla Technology Group. You should be the CEO, brother, of this company.
Honestly, the chart doesn't look terrible. If it's finds support at the 2 era, hold on.
Yeah, if that thing bursts above $22.50, it could be going higher. Take a look.
I'm sorry to break format. I said we would talk. We'll hit Tesla next. I promise.
There you go.
This is a 1 year daily. Yeah, if this can stay above $19.65, keep the 200-day MACD can go positive. I don't care what this thing does. I'll buy it.
There you go. Gorilla Technology Group. It's crazy. Hey, so they were asking about Tessie.
Yes.
Okay. Let me
pull up a 1 year here.
Okay.
So this is a 1 year daily.
Hey, they were supposed to announce today the new Model 2. It was all bullshit per usual.
Yeah.
And they announced a cheaper Model Y and a cheaper Model 3. Can that be the case?
I heard about the Y. I didn't hear about the others.
Yeah, there were like two quote unquote new models. So a cheaper Model Y, and I think there was a cheaper Model 3. But don't quote me on that. I am not really certain about it. So, it is a very good looking chart. Take a look.
Yes. Sorry, I was trying to find the best way to show the levels I wanted to show. So I think we're finally getting there. Thank you for buying some time for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we all remember, during the tariff tantrum, it got absolutely shat on, and just like everything else. And it had a really hard time in the months that followed due to political noise. But since Elon has stepped away from his role at Doge, the company has really been able to find itself. Now,
that was good news, yeah, for sure.
That was great news.
Yeah, for sure.
And I like to say that while Tesla is not a car company, the company or the stock works best when the car company is working at least a little bit.
Yeah, because 80% of the revenue comes from car sales. Sure. It's not a car company. It's not a car company, but they make 80% of the revenue from car sales. So okay, it's not a car company. I give you that.
Here's how I view it, and I think this is the right way to view it.
Okay.
If you're a trader, you're buying an electric vehicle company. If you're a long-term investor, you're buying a long-term play on robotics.
Have you seen Optimus Prime walking and talking and speaking?
No.
It's pathetic.
Yeah. So
okay.
But before we talk about the technicals, this is the point I'm going to make. If you had to tell me, if you're like Donnie, you're on a desert island and you have to trade Tesla stock, you get one piece of information to trade Tesla stock on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. It would be, well, okay, it might be a Twitter feed, but aside from a Twitter feed,
okay,
it would be the deliveries. I need to know what the EV deliveries are doing, and I can make a trade on the stock. But if you were like, what piece of information do you need to know if you want to hold Tesla for the next 5 years? It would be, do we actually get to robotics? Do we actually get there in the US? Like by the year 2030, how many? Oh, you want to share something?
Okay. Yeah, I'm sharing just
go ahead.
The income statement of Tesla, which speaks for itself. So go ahead.
Just to finish the thought.
Okay.
By the year 2030, tell me how many robots Tesla has sold, and with that information, I could tell you what to do.
But done.
Yes.
Revenue is down 11% year over year. 11% year over year. Take a look at this. Take a look at a chart of Tesla's revenue. It tanked. This company is no longer growing. That's it. So this is a cold stock. So you guys can say Tesla is the future, bro, all you want. This is a cold stock. That's it. So it doesn't trade. It doesn't trade based on fundamentals. It doesn't trade based on its most recent financial or commercial execution. It just trades on hype and based on the hope for a promising future that Elon Musk will eventually deliver. That's it. That's all. That's all what Tesla is. So that's it. Let's just call it for what it is. It is what it is. And I'm saying that, and I believe, and I'm going to share quickly a 4-hour chart of Tesla here. I think that we have all-time highs coming. So the chart looks very good. Look, I mean, take a look.
Yes,
let me pull up here.
Let's talk about the chart a little bit because there is a lot going on here that's good.
Yeah. Okay. So take a look. So it went down today because they were, some, Tesla maniacs were waiting for the launch or the announcement of the Model 2. But Tesla recaptured this 5-DMA, this 5-day moving average, which as of now is signaling $442. So if the bulls start to close candles above 440, so the 5-DMA is signaling this 5-day moving average is signaling $443. Tesla starts closing candles above that level, and why not? It could go up to $478. How much is all-time highs for this thing? Let me see.
All-time highs. All-time high.
488. 488.
Yep.
488. That's it. So the technical chart, guys, as of now, suggests that in regular market conditions, with Tesla trading above all the moving averages, except for the 5, which was broken to the downside, if you show me this technical chart and you ask me for the most likely scenario, I would say that Tesla has an appointment with all-time highs, more likely than not. Yeah. So That's what I think. That's what it looks like. It's the most potential outcome for Tesla. Mm-hmm.
Sure. I think you can abandon that thought if it closes below 420.
Correct. If it starts closing candle below the 20 DMA and the 20-day moving average is signaling 421. Agreed. So we could see a bit more of downwards pressure here. But Tesla goes down, guys. You buy the dip because Tesla is the future, bro. So that it is what it is. Hey, they're asking about Circle. This is a good one. We haven't talked about Circle in quite some time.
Before we talk about Circle, I do want to make good on talking about TMQ.
Okay.
They're called Trilogy Metals.
What is that?
Go ahead.
What stock is that?
Trilogy Metals.
That's a company that the administration is acquiring a stake, right? And
I'm sorry. My screen got bright because I pulled up the article.
Yeah.
Shares of U.S. listed mineral exporter Trilogy Metals surged more than 225% today, shortly after the White House said it would take a 10% stake in the company. I don't know if there's anything else to say. This is a company that, I think it's a $1.3 billion company in Canadian terms. I don't really know what this investment from the White House does. As someone who's interested in the fundamental story, that's it. And, I know Alvaro and I have kind of gone back and forth. Like, for example, Intel. Actually, no, we didn't go back and forth on this. You really didn't care much about the U.S. stake. You were more interested in Nvidia's stake in Intel.
I am against it. I am against any government, taking a stake in a private company. So I am 100%
we definitely agree. We definitely agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, here, I'll share the chart and you can tell me what you think. I mean, what do you do with this?
You stay away.
You sell it. You sell it if you had it.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, if you are in the trade, congratulations. That's fantastic. Again, 211% today. I'm sorry. Like we just talked about how AMD gaining $100 billion and 40%, you pulled forward a lot of future returns. Maybe not all of them. Maybe you're still early, but you've definitely pulled forward something. Wow. This company TMQ, was a penny stock before today.
Wow.
So I would remain skeptical. Not for me.
This was probably an insider trading. So someone at the Oval Office made a lot of money out of this. Aside from the stake that the government is going to be acquiring, is going to be taking on this company. So don't do anything here, guys. Wait until the dust settles. I don't know. Maybe maybe the stock can start to, build up a base above $6 or $5. But I mean, this is not a ticker that I am interested in trading as of now. by any stretch of the imagination, you know. So who knows what is going to happen here? $6. Wow, it went from how much?
$3
$2.
or $2.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Don't do anything there, guys. Wait until the dust settles. So let's see, because we don't have any technical reference at these levels. So what technical analysis can we, do here? It's like nothing. Zero.
So whoever recommended us take a look, thank you for that. But unfortunately, we don't have anything for you.
Correct. Exactly.
Yep.
Hey,
all right, Circle, right?
Yeah. Circle, yeah. They were asking about Circle, sure.
Okay, guys. I don't know how the stock is going to do when the Fed keeps cutting rates because.
By the way, we had an unusual call option alert that I need to show you today.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So we had an unusual call option alert that was posted in our Discord. Let me see if I can see it here. Where are my unusual? Take a look at this. So this alert did work out to the penny. So yesterday, someone invested $1.4 million on calls of Circle CRCL expiring on November 19th with a strike of $150. If we pull up a 1 day, 1 minute chart, by the way, let me share my screen quickly so I can show you. So let's go see if this unusual call option alert actually did play out.
Worked out.
So CRCL. And many of our guys in the Discord follow this alert actually. So CRCL, let's go see. It opened the trading session at how much? Look, at $150, and we had an initial bump from $150 up to $157. This stock went up as soon as the trading session opened, guys. 5%. 5%. Unbelievable. And the technical short is actually starting to look good. If the bulls can sustain price above $153. So as of now, Circle is trading above all the moving averages, 20, 50, and 5. The 5 DMA is rising, and we have a previous level of resistance here. This is a level at which Circle has been struggling, $153. But say that this stock can consolidate above $153. Maybe that opens for a potential push to the upside, in which case this stock could have room up to $165, which happens to be a previous level of resistance back from early August. So this is a technical short that is starting to look good. And get this done. This stock is down 50% of the highs. 50% of the highs.
It's been cut in half.
So it was cut more than half. Correct. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, bro.
No, I really like the play. I'm happy we're talking about the stock, honestly. Let me share what I got. So I have I guess it's not a 1 year because it IPO'd in June. I have a since IPO chart daily with the trend line.
Okay.
It's the two highs
to the penny
it made. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been able to close above it, but if you close above this trend line,
it's bullish. Yeah, we need
very bullish if you can close above it.
We need to see Circle consolidating above that trend line. That's a very good call out. What price do you have over that trend line then?
Right now, the trend line is around $148. Mm-hmm. So we're like in the ballpark, and obviously, as you move further to the right, the trend line continues to go down. So if this thing just stays where it is for a week, it'll be above the trend line. The point is, though, is that you could make the argument that since it topped in June, or shortly a month after it IPO'd, it's been in a downtrend ever since then. If you start having closes above this trend line, then you have to start thinking to yourself, okay, maybe this recent counter trend rally is going to become the dominant trend, and that's where money can be made. I'm still skeptical that with a Fed cutting rates, this company will be able to produce the revenue and earnings required, but I feel like the market should know that.
So let me take a look at that. That's a good point you're making there. So when is Circle reporting earnings? Let me see. Let me pull that up here. So CRCL, let's go see. So they report on November 11th, and let me show you this. This is a growth machine, bro. Take a look at this. So on their last earnings report, revenue growth was 600% year over year, bro. Unbelievable. 600%.
No, it's
year-over-year revenue
fantastic.
growth. I mean, this is crazy. And
Fantastic.
take a look at the chart of Circle's revenue. It is growing
Oh
on an
yeah. No, no,
exponential
no. Absolutely.
way. Unbelievable. Yeah. So it's a growth machine. So the company reports earnings on the 11th. This could be a candidate for some sort of a front running operation into the print,
Sure.
into the
Sure.
report. And I mean the stock got in half, guys, as of now. So this could be an
Yeah,
interesting stock when they report earnings. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the only bear case for this one is that the Fed cuts rates too quickly.
Yeah, they're buying treasury bonds for the most part. So yeah.
Exactly.
So
And that's how they report revenue. But
hmm
in theory, lower interest rates means a lower discount rate,
hmm
which could maybe offset from a technical perspective or a discounted cash flow perspective how you value a company like Circle.
correct.
Yep.
But the technical sure
No,
looks
technically,
attractive. Yeah.
again,
I would be keeping an eye, and on top of that, guys, I just told you, and some of you don't don't belong to our Discord or are not subscribed to our Patreon in English, and therefore you are not in our Discord in English. So you guys just saw the unusual call option alert. So someone is is taking a bet on the fact that that the stock of this company is going to be the way higher prices later on down the road. So I mean, this stock closes candles above $153, and I think that the risk could be potentially to the upside.
yeah, no, I agree. Risk is definitely the upside at this point, for sure, for sure.
I would change that idea if this thing breaks $134 to the downside. So if the 20-day moving average breaks to the downside, then the technical picture would be changing. But so far, it looks like we might have higher prices potentially coming up for Circle.
No, I need to see the close above it, and then I'll get in. I mean, I'll trade this. I love this kind of setup.
Yeah, we
Where
have
do we want to go
take a look at Aisha. Gorilla, this is a question directly for you. What are your thoughts on energy being a potential bottleneck for the AI story? Do you think CVX and Vernova, is that the ticker? Yeah, Vernova, can help
Yeah.
increase energy capacity until nuclear catches up?
That's a great question. I think the answer is that there's definitely going to be an energy bottleneck. If I remember the headline correctly, this is going to sound crazy and dystopian because it is both. In Texas, they're asking that people take shorter showers or cold showers to conserve energy for AI data centers.
Is that actually happening? That's crazy,
Yes.
man. Never
Yes,
heard of it. Wow.
we're there. We need more energy. We need to upgrade the grid. I like the idea of GE Vernova, and I like the idea of Chevron from the perspective of they should benefit from this eventually. GE Vernova definitely already is. Chevron, you could make the case. I'm just looking at a longer run chart of Chevron right now because I know GE Vernova's is fantastic.
Yeah, but in the case of Chevron, they rely a lot on oil prices. So oil goes up, and these kind of traditional energy stocks go up with oil. So they track, for the most part, most of them track the price of oil. I'm not gonna say to the penny, but in a noticeable way. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, here, just real quick so they understand what I'm looking at.
Go ahead.
This is Chevron 5 years monthly. Ever since 2022, when Russia invaded the Ukraine, if you just like started looking in 2022, and I know oil prices have gone back since then, this thing's flat. It hasn't done anything. If you're looking to play the energy bottleneck or energy demand like today, right now, I would recommend you look at the utilities. The XLU, this is I'll just show you a 2-year weekly chart. This thing has been unstoppable. This is just a 2-year picture. It's re-rated to incorporate the idea that earnings are going to grow at a much faster clip.
That's
thanks
crazy, right?
to
I mean,
AI.
that's insane. So this is a defensive sector that used to go up whenever
becoming a growth story.
whenever we got a risk of mode, and now it's a growth story thanks to artificial intelligence. This is impressive, very impressive, man. The transformation, the transformation. I mean, that we have seen in the case of the utility sector. Yeah, impressive.
And this is the stock I'm in. I'm in Dominion Energy. I've been in since it looks like August 8th when it came above the 200-week moving average for the first time in since losing it 3 years ago. So in my mind, you have a huge base here in Dominion Energy. You could technically buy it at a better price than I did if you were to go and do this today. It pays you a 4% dividend yield to wait. You get a breakout above $62, $63. You got a lot of different checkpoints to the upside. You can see 64, then 70. And if you break through 70, you got to revisit. There's a lot of allocators that are trying to find new derivative plays for AI because unless you get the primary movers early or quickly, the best place you can make money is in the second and third derivative trades. So I think utilities is going to be a place where that happens. I don't know if this is a chase for performance trade, but I really like this chart. You can risk manage it very easily. And even if you look at it just on this is going to be a little more than a year. I'll pull it up this way. You have a nice base. You have this big base here. I don't know if they can see my mouse, but you have you have a cup, and then you have a handle. If you break through 62, you have the cup handle formation, which is a huge bullish breakout. Again, I'm in this stock. I'm rooting for it to happen. So maybe my view on the chart and the technical is a little bit skewed.
Do you see this cup and handle unfolding without the price of oil going up substantially?
Dominion is not an oil company. They're an energy utility.
Oh, okay. It's not an oil company. So, what states are they having commercial operations at?
Dominion is mostly I think it's mostly in the eastern part of the country. They're centered in Loudoun, Virginia.
Okay.
Where a lot of AI data center build out is taking place. I think for the first time in 10 or 15, I wrote an article about this. For the first time in 10 or 15 years, they're requesting, because they're a regulated utility, they're requesting to the state that they increase the prices for electricity. And they're basically saying the reason this needs to be done is because they need the money to upgrade their infrastructure to meet higher energy demands. Read through the lines. It's for AI. I think that you're going to get there. So it might not be a linear ride up.
Most of these companies incur in debt when they need to finance any big project. And if you just take a look at the long-term debt of most utility companies, and they have large debt. So, but maybe they need to raise some cash so they don't increase their long-term debt. So that is usually the case.
They're basically raising price.
Correct.
So in my mind, the utilities are a really great way to do it. There's a number of them that look fantastic. This is just my pick.
Gotcha. And she was asking as well about Vernova. Any thoughts on that stock?
I love GE Vernova. It's one of my. I run a longer term. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. I run a longer term. Well, I run a lot of I run a handful of longer term funds, but this is in one of them because we wanted to get a play on AI infrastructure. And GE Vernova is one that has contracts. They're executing well. And I think the reason you see it somewhat underperforming over these past 3 or 4 months is because it's done so much in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, the stock is 10% off all-time highs, its most recent all-time highs. The share doesn't look good, super choppy.
It is very choppy.
Yeah, it hasn't gone. It hasn't gone anywhere during the last 2 months, I would say. So ideally, if I wanted to start the position on GE Vernova, I would expect buyers to show, or I would like to see buyers showing strength by recapturing the 20 and the 50-day moving average. The 20-day moving average comes in at $616. The 50 DMA, which is rising, that's good, that's positive, is signaling $621. So ideally, if I wanted to start the position on GE Vernova, I would like to see the bulls being able to consolidate above $622, and by doing so, maybe gathering some momentum in order to fill the next potential gap above the 50 DMA at $624. That comes in at $650. So the share isn't looking necessarily good. I would say that if the bulls cannot sustain price above the 5 DMA, which is signaling as of now $603, I wouldn't rule out a test of the rising 100 DMA, $567. $567 happens to coincide with a previous level of support back from early September. So if you want to take a short-term trade here, I would be careful because sellers have started to step in. So wait until buyers show strength, I would say. As I just said, maybe recapturing $624. If that isn't the case, if GV keeps going down, I think that $568 is a level at which buyers could be potentially defending price here. Any idea about the technical chart of any thoughts on the technical chart of Vernova?
I agree with you. It's something that when I look at it, it's very periodic. We talk about these names once every quarter and we decide what we want to do, unless there's, an earnings or something like that where we really need to take a look at it. I think if you see that it had a gap higher to 585 back in the middle of July or near the end of July. If it can't sustain $585, that's where you got to start getting worried, sweaty palms time. But like you said, the chart, frankly, doesn't look great since that breakout higher. You need to see buyers step in. There's a clear downtrend line being forming from the all-time high at 670. It just doesn't look great right now. You don't need to be a hero and get in this today. I would wait.
The stock just completed a 10% correction, a technical 10% correction. So maybe if the 5 DMA is recaptured, maybe that could be signaling that buyers could start once again to show up. But wait until buyers show up because the technical chart is looking weak as of now.
Agreed.
They are asking also about Uber. Any thoughts on
Uber? No new thoughts. It tried to get through 100 a day and got rejected. Nothing new there. It still is above or close a little below the 5-day exponential, but it's still above the short-term moving averages.
You want to share the technical chart then, because we can.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I just didn't think it was that interesting.
Okay. Just in case.
I mean, here it is. So, tried to do 100 again, didn't get there, got smacked. But these are the 5, 13, and 21-day SMAs. It found support to the penny at the 21-day at 97.11. And then closed above the 13-day exponential, in my opinion, still in an uptrend. Once this gets above 100, there's no stopping it. And in fact, I'm kind of curious where all of this supply of Uber at $100 is coming from. So I don't know who's selling it. I don't know why they're selling it because I don't think the story has ever been cleaner. I'm still long. It's one of my 5 biggest positions, and it is on that list.
But you have people saying that Tesla is going to be a competitor and Waymo and this and that, so...
Yeah, I mean, they've been saying stuff about this since the beginning of time. Lyft was also going to be a competitor. What happened to them?
Tesla already has like 10 robo taxis, so,
I mean, 10. Damn.
It is a serious competitor.
So this is where I'll be. This is where I'll be honest, because my opinion of the stock is I got in at the right time. My cost basis is in the mid 30s. So I've been in here a while. I don't plan on going anywhere.
What a good entry for Uber, bro. Congrats on that. Awesome.
Thank you. Awesome. But as someone who's been in the stock since it's been, and just so people understand, that is 60. So it's longer ago than that. Let me find the 10-year. Yeah, here's a 10-year. Here's a 10-year chart. So hit Kramer 30 around. So I've been in here for about 2 years. I have heard every single reason why Uber shouldn't work. And the bears have always been wrong. First, it's like, oh, Lyft is going to bring the prices down. What about taxis, regulations, Tesla, whatever? This has been the wall of worry individual stock. If you feel like you missed it at 30, or you feel like, the next piece of bad news is going to tumble this stock, don't bet on it, because every time something has come in the way, the management team has found a way to overcome it.
Yeah, I'm curious about the current multiples of Uber. So let me take a look at that quickly. Here.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, okay. So let me put up here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious about the multiples. Let's go see that. So ratios. So it trades at 30 times forward earnings. And take a look. This is a very low valuation in Uber terms. So it is trading at 30 times forward earnings. This is a low multiple from a historical standpoint in the case of Uber. Let me see the price to sales. Look for, we've seen lower multiples in the case of the price of sales, but I mean under very special circumstances like the bear market of 2022. So this is not a very high multiple for Uber. So despite the fact, guys, that the stock has gone up significantly, I don't know, during the last 2 years, the valuation of the stock in historical terms is very low. 30. Take a look. It's a forward P ratio of 30. Because you know that sometimes people see a technical shortdown and sometimes people see a stock trading at all-time highs and they immediately go like, oh, this stock is, overvalued and it is trading at all-time highs. It got to go lower. No. So the commercial execution of this company has been so positive that despite the fact that there's been a lot of price appreciation, the multiples have gone down. So
right on.
I don't have anything negative to say about Uber over here, and we'll see if sometime I don't know, anytime soon or whenever that happens, Tesla can have more than 10 robotaxis on the road, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, there are real threats. I mean, again, there's always going to be a bear case for Uber, just given that, it's exposed to the consumer. Autonomous driving is the thing that's going to play out. But in my opinion, as long as there is a wall of worry to climb, the management team at Uber, which not coincidentally was put in like when the stock was near 20 or near 30, they got the tools. They're capable. So for me, management kicks ass and they're the best in breed in this business. So agreed.
Hey, have you changed your mind about OpenDoor? They're asking about OpenDoor.
Let me see.
Okay.
I mean, it's at $10, so or near 10. It was at $10. Sure, why not?
It's all about price action. It's a future, bro. You never know.
Listen, I have no edge in OpenDoor Technologies. Again, the guy that is pumping the stock, talking up the stock, is the guy who called Carvana at like $1. So I'm happy that this worked out for him because it's really, really hard to catch lightning in a bottle twice. So again, be careful. I don't have any edge on this one, technically sorry, I'll share this.
I've been trading OpenDoor on a constant basis with the members of my Patreon in Spanish. Not that much in the case of our Patreon in English because this is a very volatile stock. But the mechanical aspect or aspects, I should say, of OpenDoor are the factors that I take into account the most before starting a position in OpenDoor. I will show you that in just a second. Go ahead, bro.
Sure, I'm just pulling up a chart here, like in the short term. I'm not really sure what caused this gap higher as 910 became 911, but it did. And 750, you don't want to see it get below that. If it breaches 750, you really want to see it get help at 7. But if it were to do that, I wouldn't expect it. It's above the 5-day and the 13-day and the 21-day. Those moving averages are all between 847 and 878. I mean, the chart could go higher. Why not? Let me just look at in fact, the MACD hasn't gone positive yet, so RSI is at 60, technically not overbought.
What chart is that?
This is a 1-year chart,
daily,
so
okay.
Not the most informative, but let me.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But 1 day, a daily chart is okay. 1 year chart.
Right, hold on, let me make it a 3-month chart. This won't change the. It's loading. This won't change the MACD, but it could change. Nope, OBV is still good. So OBV is like a accumulation metric. OBV is at almost at a new all-time high. It's about $10 million, 100 million shares or dollars short. It's not worth going over OBV, but the technical chart looks fantastic. The underlying momentum indicators that I use quite a bit shows that it isn't yet overbought and it's above the short-term technical moving averages. So
far, I've been able to take 10 trades, not day trades, but 10 successful trades with OpenDoor with the members of my Patreon in Spanish, and this is the most important factor that we take into account. Let me share my screen so I can show you then. So take a look. Let me go over bar chart. And
okay, nice.
Go. Okay, can you see it?
Yep.
So take a look. So okay, so these are the hottest tables in the casino, in the big casino of the options market. So if you take a look at OpenDoor, can you see it here then?
Oh, yeah, I love this.
There you go. Okay, so take a look at the IV rank. It is at 16%. So this implies that OpenDoor's options, both calls and puts, have been more expensive than today, only 16% of the time. And take a look at the IV percentile. Okay, over here, I am pointing it out with my mouse. So the IV percentile is at 66%. So this implies that the percentage of days with the implied volatility closing below the current implied volatility over the last 12 months has been 66%. So that implies that in practical terms, options, or all of the options of OpenDoor, both calls and puts, are not really very expensive relative to the last 12 months. So that's the ingredient that you need to look for in order for the current gamma squeeze that is going on in the case of OpenDoor to keep going. So whenever I start the position on OpenDoor, I do it with shares. By the way, I never buy options because the options are too expensive and the implied volatility is expensive.
That makes a lot of sense.
Correct. But I make sure of having the implied volatility or the IV rank and the IV percentile of the stock to be around these levels. This is the main ingredient that you guys have to look for. The IV rank being no higher than 40 or 50%, and today the IV rank closed at 16%. And again, guys, the IV rank is showing you basically that options have been more expensive than today, only 60% of the time during the last 12 months. And in the case of the IV percentile at 66, it's not very high. It's not low. Let's just put it that way. But it's not. It isn't extremely high. Why is it? Because the percentage of days with the implied volatility closing below the current implied volatility over the last 12 months has been 66%. So this is the mechanical ingredient that you need to see for the most part in order for this gamma squeeze to keep going. So this is what I obviously I am basing my entry points on the technical charts, but this is an aspect. Sorry, I'm very tired as of now. That I take into account before setting any position on OpenDoor.
Nice. No, I think you explained that very well. That was awesome.
There you go. So what else do we have here?
We could talk UNH. We could talk. Well, how about this? Let's do a couple people have been asking about. I see people asking about Poet. I don't actually know what that is.
Someone asked about that stock in the Discord in English yesterday. I didn't know the stock.
I'll share
Poet.
this with you.
You want to share the technical chart?
Yes. Chart looks good. Let me find it. Here we go. This is a 1-year daily.
What is this company about, Poet?
I know nothing about Poet. Okay. Let me see what the quote says here.
Do you like poetry?
Poet Technologies. I'm going to see what Fidelity says it is. Designs, develop, manufactures, and sell semiconductor products.
Someone wanted to buy Poet lips. Why would you be buying lips on? I mean, okay, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
No, they sell semiconductor products and services for commercial applications in the U.S., Singapore, Canada, and China. Data center, telecoms, 5G interconnected. I don't know anything about this, but
me neither.
I would say based on the chart, I mean, something must have happened today because we had a huge spike in volume.
Unbelievable.
Huge spike in volume. Mm-hmm. And I would say, I mean, it's above the prior all-time high from 2024. Let me make sure that's the all-time high. It is not the all-time high. I'm sorry. It is above the prior 52-week high at 779, or it went above there for a minute. I would say if you're looking to... I wouldn't chase this, but if you can see it consolidate at 750 where it got stopped back in July.
That's a previous high, $7.70. Correct. That's a previous high. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, if you can see it consolidate at 750 and change where it got stopped in mid-July, I think maybe you could pick some up there. But the problem is that because it had this huge move, the short-term moving averages, like right now, the 5-day exponential is at 675, which is $1 and change. So like, I don't know, that's like 12% or something. Mm-hmm. Or maybe more. Sorry, math is bad. Shouldn't do it live. It has a lot of catching up to the averages, so you got to start looking for other places. So 750, 760 if you want to try to get in. But that's just me talking purely as a trader. I have no edge here.
Correct.
I don't know. So yeah, any thoughts?
Yeah, this push to the upside is a bit extended. The stock is trading. It is, I don't know, like 40% 47% above its 20-day moving average. So don't chase it here. And yeah, as you pointed out, Dan, maybe a potential process of consolidation above $7.70. This is a previous level of resistance. Or if that level breaks to the downside, there's another previous level of resistance at $6.80. So expect a wild ride here, guys. So this stock is going to be going either up or down in a very violent fashion. Don't chase it here. That's all that I would be.
Yeah, no, RSI is 75. So I wouldn't say you missed it, but you definitely missed it in the short term.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
Can we do some Chinese stocks? They're asking about Baba, JD. We were talking about JD, by the way, before going live. So
yeah, sure. Let me pull that up. This is just the long-term chart that I had the other day. It matches up pretty well with the one that you've been sharing with the downtrend line. So this is, that's not 10 years. Hold on, that's 5 years. This is 10 years with the MACD I like to use. It was in a downtrend for 3 years, a strong downtrend from 2021 to 2024. Came out of it. I would say that you want to see closes above this 12-month simple moving average, which is at 35.49. But it is a monthly moving average, so it gets updated by the month. I don't really know if I have much more to add here. It found support today at the 21-day simple moving average, which is 34.75. So as long as you keep closing above there, the bulls are in control, at least as far as the short-term momentum indicators suggest.
And according to the technical chart, it looks like, I mean, if this stock wants to go higher, the upside potential could be huge, just like
the upside potential
what we saw
crazy.
in the case of Baba.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just draw this line here. There was a little bit of craziness around the $37 mark here. It gapped down, gap up, gap down, gap up, found resistance in May. Anyways, if it gets above 37, you got a gap to fill to 39.5, which plenty of upside.
There you go. What else did we go? Did we do Nvidia? We didn't, right? Do you want to go over Nvidia?
We did not do Nvidia yet.
I mean, we talked about Nvidia because of the Oracle situation, but we didn't go over the technical chart. So.
I mean, here. It looks good.
I'm still waiting for the inverse head and shoulders to play out that you told me about.
Well, I think it kind of is, no? I mean, like, you
have to fill the gap up to. I did the math the other day. It would have. So for Nvidia, in order to complete that inverse head and shoulders, you need to see 205, 210, something like that. But
okay. You have an upside target in mind.
Correct,
I understand.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is just. It looks like I've zoomed in here just to show you it. This is the first shoulder. This is the head. This is the other shoulder, and right here in green at $184 is the neckline. You got the breakout above there. It's retesting. As long as you get closes above 184, the breakout related to the potential inverse head and shoulders is still in play.
Yeah, the other day I did it live. Let me see if I can share it done with you. So look, I have it. I have it on a 4-hour chart. So let me see. So Nvidia. Look. This is take a look. This is a. I mean, these kind of technical patterns never look, to the penny in a I don't know super clear academic way.
Yes.
But this is an inverse head and shoulders, guys. Potential that is. So, I mean,
there's a little bit of abstract art. Yeah.
Correct. You need to use your imagination a bit here. When it comes to most technical patterns out there, because they are not like 100% academic. The 5DMA is signaling $187. Nvidia consolidates above $187, and the risk could be to the upside. And in regard to your neckline, which comes at $180, you said, right, Dan?
184 for me, but again, we're very close here.
Okay, but yeah, the 50 DMA is signaling $180. The 50 DMA is rising, and it is signaling $178. So the technical chart of Nvidia looks innocent until proven otherwise. Until Nvidia is no longer able to sustain price above $178. So, I mean, this is a very good looking chart, especially if Nvidia recaptures the 5DMA at $187. Let's go.
Yep, nice.
Okay, so We gotta be like I mean, let me take a look at this. Oh, we're an hour and 10 minutes in. We have covered a lot of stock. Go ahead.
We have. I say we maybe do 2 or 3 more.
Okay, go ahead. Sure.
Yeah. Let's do UNH.
Okay. We got an unusual, by the way, let me show you this once again. UNH was another unusual collapse alert that was notified to the members of our Discord. Take a look at this. So this is our Discord chat in English. Take a look at the date, October 7th. So yesterday, someone invested $810,000 on collapses of UNH expiring on this is January 21st of 2028. And take a look at the strike price, guys. $520. A super bullish bet.
Sharing this?
Yeah. I mean, I am not actually sharing it, but I am showing it.
You're just telling us.
Yeah, correct. If you pull up the live stream, you will be able to see it then. So, take a look at the strike price. Cool. $520. A super bullish bet in favor of UNH. And what happened? I wonder what happened with this unusual collapse alert of AMD today. Let's go see. Let me pull up here a 1 day, 1 minute chart. And bingo, take a look. UNH opened the trading session at $359. And from open to close, this stock went up 1.2%, which percentage-wise doesn't seem to be much. But this stock went up almost $5 today from open to close. So this was another successful, unusual collapse alert. And what are your thoughts on the technical chart of UNH, Dan?
It's getting very interesting, and it got very interesting just 3 or 4 days ago. So here, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you just a chart of AMD since the massive fall off from 600. So fell off a cliff.
UNH.
Yes, UNH.
You said AMD.
Oh, I'm sorry. UNH, to be clear. Okay. UNH, to be clear. Okay. Fell off a cliff, slid down a hill, fell off another cliff. Almost bottomed there. I guess it bottomed later, but for all intents and purposes, the news flow bottomed in May. So this is what it just looks like if you're just looking at candles. Now I'm going to add a couple of technical indicators. So right here is the level where it finally gapped down, and it hadn't been able to get above this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4.5, 5 months. That level is 340. It's finally maintaining a price above there. Today it closed at $363. We have a bullish crossover of the 50-day simple moving average coming above the 100-day, which in simple terms just means that shorter term momentum is overriding a longer term momentum. You're seeing more money come in a smaller time frame. In my opinion, you're above 340. You have a gap to fill to 380 where it fell off. You could get there pretty quickly. And if you can get to 380, I honestly think the only real resistance for you is the 200-day simple moving average at $400.23. And based on what I see here with the 50-day taking over the 100, I think it's possible. Just so everyone knows, RSI is a little bit overextended. It's 7150. Got to watch for that. But MACD looks like it's going to have a bullish crossover. So I really like the setup here. Looks great.
Yep. And I'm thinking that the downward sloping 200-day moving average could start to act like a magnet potentially. So that's an interesting one. You just pointed out the 200 DMA. I think that's the orange line, right, Dan?
Yeah, that was 400. And just one last point, for people to watch. This is the 150-day. It's battling it right now. Yeah. I really like the 150-day. If it goes through here,
the moving average of our friend Carter Worth. So
Mr. Carter Worth, yes, one of the best in the business. Yeah. If this, I might need to buy some call options or something because I don't really know if I want to be an investor here. I'd rather just trade this thing. Mm-hmm. But if you get above this 150, chances are you probably get a retest. At least I think Carter said one or two, and I think it's 1 in 3 retest, or maybe it was 2 in 3. I'll get back to you on that. But I just got a feeling get above this 150. There are so many people that want to believe in this name. They want to make money in this value name. So it's just different from the AI zeitgeist that you're going to see a breakout here.
Agreed. Do you have any thoughts on PayPal?
What's the ticker on that one?
we have someone asking about PayPal. Like
the ticker is PYPL.
PYPL,
yeah?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
All right, let me just pull up.
I use it, and I am a customer. I buy crypto on PayPal, so
I mean,
I'm guilty as charged. But
everyone should be.
But in the case of PayPal, I don't see any good fundamental reason to invest in the company. So I mean, PayPal has like 1 million competitors, but I mean, I just buy crypto, so I have nothing to do with the company other than buying crypto.
I mean, listen, dude, that's fine. I mean, I think a lot of people use PayPal. They have the checkout thing. If you use Venmo, you use PayPal. I don't know how you monetize that, but that's the truth.
But you have Zelle, you have so many other, payment vehicles. Let's just put it that way, from a digital standpoint. So
yeah. I don't know.
I see a lot of people out there being like super enthusiastic about PayPal, and a lot of YouTubers are actually pumping PayPal. I don't see any good reason to own the stock. Just that's my personal opinion.
I completely agree with you from a fundamental narrative perspective. I mean, it got above the 150 day. That's fantastic, but RSI is at 67. MACD is extended. You have a huge head of overhead support at $78. If you want to get in this name, and for those of you that are keeping track at home, here's a 10-year chart. It looks terrible. Wow. There's a lot of sellers waiting.
Can you figure down how many people are holding the bag? From all-time highs. So the overhead supply on this stock has to be massive, man.
Yeah, and I mean, just to give you an idea here, man. Like you might make an argument that people that held the stock at the all-time high are already out. But there's a lot of people that probably bought somewhere in wait, sorry, I don't know why my chart just did that. That probably bought somewhere in.
Now we can use an anchor VWAP from all-time highs, but I mean, I don't know. I don't like the technical chart at all.
This is about to test the 200-week simple moving average, which is at 77.85. But let's just say you didn't buy at the all-time high. Let's say you bought after this huge dump in January or in February of 2022. You're holding the bag in a really big way. If you bought after a huge decline in February of 2022. Your price is $120 and the stock is at 75. There are so many other names in the market that have less overhead support with better stories. This is just in the too hard bucket. I wouldn't bother.
There you go. Hey guys, I think that we are about to wrap it up because we are an hour and 17 minutes in. So it's been a pleasure. I gotta tell you guys, I am experiencing throat discomfort. Let's just put it that way. Take a look. I've been making an effort today, guys. So yeah, I would say that my performance hasn't been my best one so far because my throat isn't doing very good. But we went over a bunch of stocks. I warned you about the fact that I didn't feel good. So
no, Alvaro, this was your Michael Jordan flu game. You did great. we were down early, but you powered through.
I'm a bit down in the dumps, but it is okay. I need to get some rest, I guess. That's it. So thank you very much. Remember, in the description box of this video, you guys have the link in order to be able to subscribe to your YouTube channel. So maybe next week we could be doing a regular episode of Shorts and Checks because it's been a tough one because you've been very busy and I've been very busy as well. I gotta take a trip to Miami and stuff, but
I mean we'll see what we can do. Probably do a normal episode. I hope that one day we can get to the point where we can have live episodes of a normal podcast. Obviously it won't be as interactive.
Correct.
But we'll definitely have another podcast next week. Just a matter of what time and when. Probably won't be live though, to your point.
There you go. My daughter was just in Miami a couple of weeks ago. She said it was very beautiful. It is very beautiful. Yeah.
It's also hot as fuck.
South Florida is very beautiful. So I'm getting together with 55 members of our Patreon in Spanish. It's gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be a big party on Friday night. I will send you some pictures.
Thank you.
If I get better, because I'm a bit down in the dumps. I gotta get better.
Man. No. I mean,
I gotta get better.
Down there.
Bye, guys.
Take care. See you, everybody.
Bye. Take care, guys. Bye. Thanks.
Very nice.